Hey friends, just late video here, but I just wanted I don't know, share some wisdom as I find it. That's what I like to do. I just like to share, bits and pieces of life, and I like to share wisdom as I go sometimes, and hopefully it will help someone else. I'm a very deep thinker, and I just take my whole life in and just reflect on my atmosphere, and I reflect on the lives of other people. And this is why I show up sometimes. But today I was just thinking a lot of things. And I know communication was one of them, you know. I know a lot of people have problems with communicating with each other. And a lot of that has to do with, it can stem from your childhood. If you come from a family of people who just have a hard time communicating, that may have been brought down to you, you know. I know I'm working on being a generational, like a cycle breaker, in my own family in many, many ways. And communication was definitely one of them. But I've had to learn to become good at communicating because I struggled with it for so long, And part of that had to do with not being comfortable with sharing, my heart and, the things that are up here. But once you do become comfortable, sometimes it's hard to not overshare sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to not communicate because, you're so used to being misunderstood that you just want to go out of your way to make sure that you're not, if you can relate to that. But anyways, I think it's really important to communicate with people because otherwise we miss out so much. We miss out so much in each other's lives, Whoever you're connected to, you miss out because you're not communicating, If you're married or if you're in a relationship, and if you're not communicating with your person, you're going to miss out on so much. How was their day? What was the highlight of their day? Did something funny happen today? Talk about it. We just miss out on so much of our lives because we're not communicating with each other. Friendships, in a relationship, that is so important. Communication is so important. And it's important to be so vulnerable, with your person. Not only so you can feel safe, but so that you can really get to know your person's mind, how they think, what their love language is. Like, all of that's important in a relationship, in a marriage. And in a friendship, it's important to communicate too, because there's been some instances where, I'll have a friend that, she'll ask me, like, why are you so short with me? Why is this? Why is that? And she might misunderstand me sometimes. And well, I know she has misunderstood me many times. But then I'll go out of my way and say, hey, don't misunderstand me. This is what I meant. Like, I'm not afraid to do that anymore. I'm not afraid to, you know, to call someone out on that. Like, if you and I are connected, I'm not going to be afraid to call you out, you know, if I feel that you're misunderstanding me here, But anyways, but the point of this video is just to share some wisdom that I'm learning here. But communication is just so important here. And don't be afraid to communicate. I know wherever you are, sometimes you're in situations where you feel like you're walking on eggshells, I know I've been in situations like that, but not anymore. But if you're finally in a situation where you can be free to talk, and the other person isn't going to make you feel stupid, or the other person isn't going to make you feel less than, then speak. Let it out. Don't hold back. As long as you're being gentle with them, I think it's so important to be gentle with each other, and how you speak. Yes, there's a time to be bold, and a time to be to put your boundaries up and be stern about things, and being willing to say, like, I'm not willing to accept this anymore from you, or whatever else. But I think if you're in a situation where you actually are finally, you feel safe with another human being, let out your feelings. Speak. Don't hold back, And, something else I was thinking today is, how important it is to value yourself, because if you don't, then you're showing other people how to treat you, and that's why boundaries are important. You got to love yourself and value yourself so that other people will, You don't want someone to trample your heart. You don't want them to walk all over you and just treat you poorly. You're a gift. You got to be treasured. You want someone else to show up for you correctly, and you want them to value the time that they get to spend with you, and just value you in general, because you're a gift. We have to look at each other as gifts. The blessings and the people that you have in your life. Who's a gift from the Lord. Who is showing up for you. And I know something in this life is, I've learned that, the person that God has for you is not only going to challenge you, but they're going to draw you closer to the Lord, not pull you away from. They're going to draw you closer to Jesus, not pull you away from him. You're going to know them by their fruit. That's the fruits of the Spirit. We got to know each other by how do we love one another, So, anywho, I won't make this any longer, but just reflect on your life. Communicate with people so you don't misunderstand them. And the second part, value yourself, love yourself, put boundaries up so that other people will learn how to love you and learn how to treat you like the gift that you are. See you next time. Thanks for listening.